What's up, sports fans? My name is Jake, and welcome back to Game Day Eats. This week, the Kansas City Chiefs blitz into Denver with an attempt to wrangle the Broncos and extend their winning streak. Now, we had a few choices to make for the dish this week, including Rocky Mountain oysters, which aren't oysters at all. They're bull testicles. And I'm not into that, so we're making green chili fries. Sit back and relax. This is Game Day Eats. Denver, Colorado has an eclectic spread across their menu, and this has by far been the most challenging city to find a dish based on the fact that there are just so many things to choose from. And like I said before, one of the favorites is the Rocky Mountain oyster, but oysters aren't found in the mountains, so that's very deceiving. I don't take challenges lightly, so I dug deeper to find something your gatherings can all tackle without feeling weird. The green chili sauce is what we are making from scratch, so let's get to the recipe. Now, this calls for some pork to add to the carnivorous factor to the dish, but you can leave it out if you wish. So we're starting with 1 to 2 pounds of pork shoulder diced, 1 tablespoon of garlic minced, a half yellow onion diced, a half cup of butter, a half cup of flour, 1 quart of mixed green chilies, 2 large tomatoes diced, 1 quart of chicken stock, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons of oregano, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, pre-packaged or freshly made french fries, cotija cheese, green onions sliced, and sour cream. As we had with the Cuban sandwich last week, Denver's ownership of the green chili sauce is contested by New Mexico. This battle seems just as intense, with both sides claiming that they have the recipe right. But with food, everyone wins, mostly because I get to test the recipes myself and keep eating. The biggest difference in the dishes is that the Denver recipes calls for the pork that we mentioned earlier and other items to spread out the taste and experience. The New Mexico iteration really focuses on the flavor of the chili sauce itself. Both are important in their own way, and both have different results. If you're feeling adventurous, try each of them out and let me know what you think. The Denver area has hosted a green chili crawl with local restaurants around the area for as far back as the internet was able to report, and also hosts contests to see which local cooks up the best tasting recipe as well. I have to think that some of the homemade ones come out better than the restaurants, but that's the skeptic in me. If you're in the area or know someone out there, we need to know. So share this and tell them to hook us up with the info. The thing about green chili sauce is that it's a versatile food. You can put it on most things you want to smother in a spicy goodness. Now we're doing fries today, but tomorrow could be tacos or morning eggs. Hey Siri, remind me to put green chili sauce on my eggs tomorrow.
Before I can help with that, you'll need to enable personal requests. Open the home app.
Turns out she can't do that. So our beer of choice comes from Breckenridge Brewery, which was founded in 1990 in Breckenridge, Colorado. In 1992, they expanded to Denver by opening a manufacturing facility next to what would become Coors baseball field. Coors. Back to what we're here for. Today we're tasting their autumn release, which is the Breckenridge Avalanche Amber Ale. We're also covering alliteration. So we finished our green chili sauce, and we put them on our fantastic fries, so now we get to taste. So after realizing I missed some of the most important components with the cheese, sour cream, and green onions, we're going for round 2, and this already looks so much better. The Kansas City Chiefs are having a season to remember, and it reminds me a lot of the 2003 and the 2013 seasons when the Chiefs got off to 9-0 starts. The 2003 season ended better with a 13-3 record during the regular season, but falling to Indianapolis in the divisional round of the playoffs. Well, both seasons ended with 1-game playoff loss, but who's counting? This team is different. This team is showing a no-holds-bar approach to scoring with their second-year quarterback Patrick Mahomes, tearing through defenses like that 3-day-old Chinese takeout I just ate. No concern for life. Looking at their defense, it is appalling. They have the second worst pass defense and a middle-of-the-road rush defense. The scores they've allowed should make them 0-3 instead of the other way around. And the other foot will come crashing down once they're a few games in and there's some film to study in order to slow Mahomes down. But like we talked about before, is there an immovable object out there to pull the plug on this unstoppable force? Oh man, the Denver Broncos. There have been some questionable decisions by GM and Executive Vice President John Elway since winning Super Bowl 50. You need an offensive jumpstart? Sign the defensive coordinator from the Miami Dolphins, who had the 29th worst defense in the league, when he was the coordinator, instead of the offensive coordinator, who is the son of the team's longest tenured head coach that you also won 2 Super Bowls with. You have one of the best defenses and cornerback duos in the league. Get rid of the defensive coordinator because you don't want to pay him. Oh, and one of those cornerbacks too. The quarterback legend turned front office manager signed Case Keenum in the offseason, looking to add some magic behind the offensive line after a dismal 2017 season led by Trevor Siemian and Brock Osweiler. So far, Keenum has thrown 743 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Fun fact, all 3 of those touchdowns came in week 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. Lots of questions happening in the front office for the Broncos, and the fans are getting restless for consistency, but does that really exist in the NFL? Still winless in my predictions, but the last one almost played to my favor if Fitzpatrick didn't turn over the game in the first half. This choice is a no-brainer based on the fact that Denver's porous defense is not that immovable object needed to stop the Kansas City steamroller, and their offense would have trouble keeping up with the Browns team from last year, who went 0-16 if you forgot. The only question is the score, and I'm going to pour it on a little thick here with the Chiefs putting on 35 points to the Broncos 14. Week 4 will be cooked to perfection tonight, so make sure you stay in the loop and catch its new episode airing this Thursday. Subscribe and watch next week as we head south to New Orleans and make gumbo as the Washington Redskins face the New Orleans Saints in Week 5's matchup. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the field.